Hello, 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 and welcome to day number 24? Day number 24? I don't know. It's definitely the earliest that I've done my drives, for sure. I just got really bored. Didn't have anything going on like I typically do. So I just thought, why not? I'll go ahead and do my drives. So we'll go ahead and go up against Sand Gnats. Good old 124 defense. I think I played a 124 defense yesterday too. I think it was also the Steelers. Maybe it was the Raiders. Nope, it was the Raiders. But it seems like 124 to 126 defenses are most of the time Steelers for me. I don't know why. I just have that feeling. Open up here with Trips Corner Strike. It's countered because we saw the linebacker and the cornerback move over together. So if I'm able to throw the ball, I'm going to bullet it to Antonio Gates as soon as the game lets me. And we're going to get a first down. Let's see what the counter percentage is on that. 18%. Good stuff, 18%. We're going to go weak IPA post here. We're looking at a 3-4 under coverage, so it's not countered. So I'm going to just wander out to the edge, not use my scramble, and get the free scramble. There's another play action pass like that. Trips PA dig post, but you have to flip this one. I think this might be counter formation nickel. I don't know. I haven't really run this play a lot to know whether or not it's countered. So I guess we will find out. It is. By 18%. 18%. We'll go in with empty trip stick here. We're looking at a dime zone coverage. Dime zone coverage because nobody moved here. So our primary read is Saquon Barkley. If it's countered, we're still going to hit Saquon. If it's a critical counter, we'll just bullet it to him, and it'll probably be incomplete. But we're going to hit our offensive lineman right in the back of the head. Probably should have taken a step back for that, which is probably what I would advise you to do. But at this point, we still have this scramble. So motion cross is a decent play call here, but I really would like to go trips tight end wide receiver corner, which I think is what I'll do here. It is not countered. Looks like a dime man, so we'll just set the blocks, and we'll hit Ingram, and he'll catch it, and we'll get up to a 4th and 3-ish. Yep. So let's see. I could go spread FL drag here, which is probably what I'll do. It is low and medium counter breakable, but it's not really critical counter breakable, which is why I kind of want to go motion cross here instead, because I know it can break low, medium, and critical counters, and I have my scramble. So I am going to go motion cross here. We're looking at a nickel here, so it looks like it could very well be countered. I don't know what it means when the linebacker pushes up, but I guess we'll find out. It's not countered. But I am going to use a scramble because I don't really trust Jones catching that pass. 18%, it was a medium counter. I don't really trust Jones catching that pass because on 4th down, I really don't like to throw the football. I like to scramble out of the shotgun. So I try to use my scramble on 4th down. I try to save it for 4th down or the 2-point conversion if I'm able to. Here we're facing up against nickel man. So I'm going to read Saquon Barkley like I always do for this play. And I'm not going to throw that. In fact, I'm going to try to get a few yards out of the deal. Probably should have just thrown it away, but I got 2 yards out of it instead of no yards, so I think that was a win. I don't have trips tight end wide receiver corner to use, but on the next play I will have empty trip stick. So here I'm going to go ahead and run the football. I'm going to go and run it with trips tight end halfback counter. It is not countered, but we got the bad coverage here, so I'm going to hope that this defensive end doesn't break quick enough to tackle me so I can get up the middle, which he did get the really good break, so we lose a yard. So now I'm going to go empty trip stick here because I know it's not countered. We're facing up against dime man, so I'm going to step back, set the blocks, and I'm going to not quite get the first down. 4th and 4. God, dude, it's a tough 124 defense. So I don't have my scramble, so I'm going to have to try something new. Or I don't have to try anything new. I could go trips tight end wide receiver corner and hope and pray that somebody catches the football. It's an 18% long pass counter he has. I've hit 2 of them so far. Alright, fingers crossed. It is counter breakable, low and medium severity. Critical, it is sometimes breakable. Because I have Baker Mayfield and his throw power is so high, it may not be, because he'll just rocket it to Barkley. If it's a low or medium counter and the blocks are set and everything, then you should be fine to get out of the pocket, roll around to the right side, and hit your tight end. But if it's critical, as soon as you can snap it, just bullet it to the halfback. We're not faced up against a counter here, so we're going to set back, set the blocks, and just hit the defensive end with the football right in his face. Fuck. I don't know how that happened. Don't have any words for why it happened. But it's kind of upsetting, not gonna lie. Not much I could really do with that. This guy's got a little too much kick power, but we'll roll into the second drive here. We're facing a blitz, so I'm going to step back, and I'm going to hit Julio Jones, who just completely whiffs on it. We are going to get a counter on Tripp's tight end halfback counter, and it's going to be a critical, and it's going to be 15%. So I know I'm not being live countered, so I can go ahead and roll into Tripp's tight end wide receiver corner here. We will move into the pocket, set the blocks, hit Ingram, who's going to catch it. We'll throw out a stiff arm to get some extra yardage, which we will. We're going to go into weak IPA post here. It's a 3-4 under coverage, so it's not countered. We'll roll out, and we'll pick up some big yards. Same thing here with Trips PA dig post. We're faced up against 3-4 coverage, and we know the counter from last time is nickel. So we're not being countered, so I'll just do the same exact thing, but I'm going to throw this one away because that linebacker read that. I don't think I can run. I can't. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with empty trip shallow cross because I know it's not countered. Then we're going to hit Barkley once he clears the offensive line, and we're down at the 6-yard line. Let's see, here we're going to go with spread FL drag. I'm going to flip it, and the only reason I'm going to do this instead of going fullback flare is because fullback flare isn't super effective from the 6-yard line. It does still draw goal line coverage, but I know that if I get 100% critical countered here on spread FL drag, Tripp's tight end halfback counter is open for me to run on the next play. So I'm going to run spread FL drag here. It's not countered, so we're going to set the blocks and hit Ingram, and we're going to go and score. I do have my scramble, so we're going to go bunch spacing. It's looking like it could be countered because they're not lined up horizontally. The cornerbacks here are not lined up horizontally, so I'm going to drag the stick down into the left a little bit in preparation, but it is not countered, so we're going to sneak in for 8 points. Still upset about that first drive, not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to look at that and see where it went wrong. I don't think I did anything wrong, but I could be wrong. I'll have to see. I was going a week strong without dropping a drive, and then as soon as I start thinking about that, I drop a drive. Man, that karma will get you, won't it? A little too much kick power there. Hopefully we can get the ideal coverage here on Tripp's corner strike. Doesn't look like we're going to. Looks like it could very well be another blitz, which it will. We're going to hit Jones. Nope, never mind. We're not going to hit Jones. We're going to get sacked for a 5-yard loss. We're going to go Trips tight end halfback counter here. We got the awful coverage again. So we'll see what will happen. Unfortunately, we can't get anything going there. So I'm just kind of at a loss. We're going to go empty Trips stick here because I know it's not countered from previous runnings, and it is zone, unfortunately. So we're going to roll a little bit to the right, and then we're going to hit Barkley. And he's going to get down to he's going to get 4th and 2, maybe? 4th and 2. So here I'm going to go spread FL drag. I know I'm not being live countered because the first 3 plays that I ran on all 3 of my, or all the 2 previous drives, so I know they're not countered, and I know I'm not being live countered. So we're going to go ahead and roll into spread FL drag here. We are facing a blitz, so what I'm going to do here, instead of scrambling, I'm going to hope Evan Ingram can catch this football. Nope, never mind, I'm going to scramble. Maybe get a free scramble, I will, and we'll get out of bounds. Probably, I would not advise you to do that unless you're really comfortable doing that. If it comes down to that, use your scramble there. Don't assume that you can get the free scramble, because I was about to use my scramble button. I was about to use the scramble button when I saw that cornerback coming down to meet me, but he was going out on coverage on Evan Ingram, and that's why I didn't use the scramble button there. So we're going to roll into weak eye PA post here. This is counter formation 3-4, but we're facing up against a 3-4 man, because we know that because Richard Sherman took a step backwards, so I don't think it's countered. And I'm going to roll out here and get touched. I'm going to get touched from behind. Going to get just the back touched. I can't go trips tight end halfback counter here. It's 2nd and 4. So we're going to go trips tight end wide receiver corner. Step back, set blocks, hit Ingram. He's going to catch it but not be able to break free. I couldn't do any wiggling there. So here we're going to go with trips PA dig post. This is counter formation nickel. So there's really nothing you can do if it's countered. If it's lower medium, you could probably hit Barkley or Jones if Jones has a split, but if it's critical, you're taking a sack. Just like that, you're taking a sack. So let's see here if I can run trips halfback counter. I can, so I'm going to. I got the good coverage, finally got the good coverage. So we'll be able to get a pretty good gain here. I'm going to set up that block for my offensive guard to pick up. All that block, you have to set it up as soon as you cross the line of scrimmage. You can't wait until he picks it up himself, because he's not going to. He's too slow to pick it up. Most offensive linemen, unless you're a pay-to-win player, all offensive linemen are going to be way too slow to pick up that block. Or if you have a slow halfback, I guess. He's going to be too slow to pick up that block, so you have to cut inside a little bit, which might decrease the yards that you get if you... Well, no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't decrease the yards you get, because you're going to not pick up as many yards if that safety doesn't get blocked. You're going to get tackled a lot earlier than what you would if you went inside just a little bit to pick up the block. So you're facing up against a dime man. We know that because Roquan Smith moved down. It's not countered. So we're going to set the blocks and hit Barkley once he clears the offensive line. We're going to do a little move there to get inside the 10-yard line. We're at the 7-ish. And here, what do I want to do here? Spread FL drag sounds kind of good here. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Spread FL drag from the 8-yard line. We're going to hit Ingram, and he's going to take it. Is that a touchdown? Yeah, okay. It didn't pop up touchdown, so I was a little confused. Here, assume it's countered until you're proven otherwise, so you'll drag the analog stick pre-snap, you'll drag it down into the left a little bit at like a 45-ish degree angle. That'll give you a nice head start if it is countered. That'll also direct your halfback to the defensive end, which is who you want him to pick up and block. His blocking route already shows he's going to the left, so if you pull it down into the left, it'll direct him to pick up that defensive end if it is countered. So let's see what happens here. It is countered, but unfortunately you can't get away from that. So I do not score what I wanted to score, and I'm going to look at that drive again because I want to see what happened, what went wrong. 14 points is awful. Just awful. I stand by the motion cross there on 4th and 3 because I want to pick a play in that situation that is counter breakable. Trips tight end wide receiver corner would have been a decent call if I didn't call it on 3rd and 13, the play before. There are a few plays that are counter breakable. I can't think of any right off the top of my head right now, but motion cross is definitely one of them. So that is a phenomenal play to run on 4th down because it is low, medium, and critical counter breakable. I stand by the call there, empty trip, shallow cross. It really wouldn't have benefited me either throwing the football away or gaining those 2 yards. Because I wasn't, you have a lower percentage of fumbling if you take a sack than when you're running with the quarterback. So I should have thrown it away probably because I could have fumbled the football. That is an option, not an option, that's a possibility. So I probably should have thrown it away, but it wasn't going to make a difference anyway. Trips, tight end, halfback counter, I just got plugged up. There was really nothing I could do there. The defensive end, if I cut it inside, the defensive end was going to tackle me. If I cut it outside, the cornerback was going to tackle me. So it was better that I just get plugged up there and not lose any yards than losing 3 or 4 if I ran it either way, to the inside or the outside. Empty trip stick. I don't remember what happened there. I think it was man coverage, and I didn't use the scramble, and I probably should, or I didn't have my scramble, sorry. I think it was man coverage because I rushed, so it had to have been man coverage. And I think the defensive end dove, either the defensive end or cornerback dove and just touched my back and pushed me over. So I think that might have been what happened there. And then I'm going to stand by the call. Trips, tight end, wide receiver corner is the right play to call there. I just got super unlucky with how the block shed worked out. He just got right in the line of fire, the defensive end did. And that was the incompletion. It wasn't a dropped pass. It was just Baker Mayfield didn't clear the defensive end. The offensive tackle did not block him well enough. I think that's when my right tackle didn't block him well enough there. So I'm going to stand by all the calls. They were the right calls to make. There was just bad luck on how the tables turned. So with all that being said, not the score that I wanted. 14 is definitely not good at all. For a top league that we want to be, it's not good. Not a good score you want to aim for. You want to be in the 20s every day. I just had an off day today, just some bad luck on plays. Nothing I can do about that. Just the way that EA has their game set up. So that's all I can say about it. That's all I had. With all that being said, I am Renovation, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.